This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with Mecklen's Gym Marbella. On the phone all the way from San Francisco. Very pleased to welcome Amir Khan. How are you, Amir?
I'm good, thanks.
Amir, can you hear me all right, Amir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Amir, listen, I wanted to obviously get you on the phone because there's a lot of contrasting stories going about, and you know, people are having their say, and I really wanted to get it from the horse's mouth, shall we say, and get it from you. First of all, Amir, can you just clarify the Algieri situation, because you know, we saw a video via your wife's YouTube channel saying that, you know, Algieri will be your opponent come May the 30th, but also we understand that that's not 100% confirmed. So what's exactly happened there?
Yeah, since then it's not 100% confirmed. Obviously, you know, I want to give the fans what they want. They want good fights, and obviously they want big fights. And you know, we've gone back to drawing board, and we're looking at a few of the names. Broner is another name. We FaceTimed each other. He's happy to fight me at 147, so you know, I'm trying for that fight now, because obviously I know that he wants it, I want it, so why not get it made? Obviously both of us are with Algieri, I think it's possibly could be made, but you know, Broner did say to me that he can't do 147, he wants to do 145. But if he's been tweeting and saying that he wants to fight me at 147, then what's the point of saying that he wants to fight me at 144, 145? Obviously, I'm a 147 fighter who makes it. I mean, I don't make 147 easy, but obviously I'm a big 147. I'd rather stay at my weight. So hopefully we can talk with his team. And, you know, he was very respectful on the phone. But even if, you know, and also Miguel, obviously he's got he's fighting somebody else. He was another guy I wanted to fight. I was looking at, but his team already decided to fight someone else in the BoxNation. So that's two fights there gone. And who does that leave? That leaves like another, like Algieri, and probably another couple of opponents. But I'll talk a little bit about Algieri. And stylistically, you know, if you look at Algieri, I mean, he's a straight boxer. He's only lost one fight to Pacquiao. He's former world champion, and you know, like I said, he's from New York, and you know, he beat the likes of Provodnikov, who is now fighting Lucas Matisse. And Provodnikov is a tough, rugged fighter, and he beat him. He's also beaten Emmanuel Taylor, who's another great fighter, you know. So he's beaten some good fighters, man, on his way up. And obviously, because he got beat by Pacquiao, and Pacquiao is a A+ league, you know, people are saying now he's done. But, you know, in the day, I'm in a position where I need to fight in May, end of May. The reason I can't fight in June is because Ramadan, and I know Ramadan starts mid-June. But the thing is, I need a couple of weeks to prepare for it, and also, you know, I can't just have a fight and go straight into Ramadan. Now, that's one of the things that I try to make clear. Where a lot of people say, Ramadan will start till, this is 14th or the 17th. But you're going to fight. Yeah, you can fight just before then. I can't. Obviously, I prepare for Ramadan. I'm not gonna fight and go straight into Ramadan, because Ramadan is starving your body and, you know, not eating and stuff, which I think could be difficult. Another thing I want to clarify was the Ibf Eliminator, Khan Bradley. Now, I've had no calls from the IBF. I've not been told about this or anything. Bradley's a fighter who I've fight for a long time. I've always called him out, and he's always refused my challenge. Bradley, I would keep a fight in a hot. I mean, great fight for me, but you know, I think that is just rumors. I mean, IBF have not called me to say I turned the fight down. I have never turned any fight down in boxing. I mean, that's one thing, and that's one of the reasons I get a lot of respect in America, is because Americans have turned fights down. I give everyone 100%. I give everyone the fight they want, and I give everyone excitement. Even when it comes down to TV, you know, I seen Eddie Hearn said that Showtime denied showing my fights. Now, I can honestly say, if it was Algieri, which is not being confirmed, if it was Algieri, versus Algieri, that is still a better fight than you know, who Kell Brook fought. I mean, Kell Brook fought on Showtime, but I mean, one thing about TV networks here, they all fight for me. They all want me to fight on their TV network, because I bring excitement and I bring a great show for the TV and the viewers, the boxing fans out there. So, you know, there are a few things I want to clarify, that all this is nonsense. And it seems to me that Kell Brook and Hearn are fooling the UK public. That's what's happening. They're fooling them by saying that Amir's not fighting Bradley, he's not fighting Kell Brook, can't do the fight because of, obviously Eddie knows Ramadan for me comes once a year and I want to be ready for Ramadan. You know, I'm not going to waste my time and go into, or push it very close to Ramadan, the fight, because then I have to go into Ramadan. So that's the reason I can't do it June, because I want to keep the whole of June free for myself and fight at the end of May. That's what I'm looking at. So, you know, at the moment, I'm not a TV company to work. So I spoke to Steven Espinoza and we saw each other in Vegas at one of the fights. And we sat down and he said to me, look, Amir, let me know when the next fight is. We'd love to show your fight and let's talk. So that shows me, regardless who my opponent would have been, he wanted Amir Khan on. It's Amir Khan they want on the TV channel. You know, so that's all live. What Eddie Hearn said, that no TV company wants Amir Khan's fight. I can't believe he said that, because I'm with one of the biggest. I'm with one of the biggest guys in boxing, which is Algieri. He can get me any deal I want in boxing, and on top of that, me being the fighter I am, being the exciting fighter I am, I can get any fight, any TV station. You know, we have a lot of interest with a lot of TV stations, and they love watching my fights and stuff. So, you know, that's what it is really. So, you know, just Eddie fooling the crowd. I think it's just fooling the UK fans and making me look very small. Now, if I was fighting, I mean, if you compare it, if Amir Khan was fighting Jojo Dan, regardless people saying it's a mandatory or whatever, I mean, you know, I would have got this, and obviously no TV would want that. I would have been done, but I think Algieri is a better opponent than Jojo Dan. And you saying to me TV don't want that? Like I said, it's all rumors, and you know, someone like Kell Brook and Eddie Hearn are just kind of using my name, making me look small and look like I'm not facing the A-class opponents really, which I think is really disrespectful there.
Amir, okay, as regards to the situation with Kell Brook fighting Jojo Dan, obviously Kell Brook is in a position there where Jojo Dan is his mandatory challenger, so effectively he's in a position where if he doesn't fight his mandatory challenger, he's got to give the belt up. So in that respect, you can't really blame Kell Brook really for taking the fight, surely, with Dan if he wants to get his mandatory out of the way.
Cool. Okay, that's cool. But what I'm trying to say is, I'm not trying to say that he shouldn't have fought Jojo Dan. I'm just trying to say, if I was in Kell's position, what would have been said, how they would have turned it against me. And look, even if it's Jojo Dan or if it's and still Showtime bought the fight. Showtime got the fight. You're saying to me, Amir Khan versus a former world champion who just come at the ring with Manny Pacquiao, Showtime don't want the fight. Is that what Eddie Hearn tried to say? That's what it seems to me. You know,
Amir, do you know before I heard Eddie Hearn mention anything about this, I actually read about Showtime passing on a possible Khan Algieri fight from Dan Raphael's Twitter, and also Dan Raphael also tweeted today about the IBF situation, that he had heard that your camp had passed on the opportunity to take the fight with Tim Bradley.
Yeah, so there's a big difference from hearing it from me or my team or heard. I mean, hearing it of other people is not true. Now, I can clarify everything with you. IBF have not contacted me or my team for the Bradley fight. I would take that fight in a heartbeat if it was there for me, okay? And like I said, it has to be in May, end of May. And also with TV companies, I have a direct link with all the, and so does Algieri, with all these TV companies. How come these main people from the TV companies haven't come approached us, where they've approached Dan Raphael and said to him, look, we don't want the fight between us. Who's Dan Raphael? He don't work for me. You know what I'm saying? He don't work for me, so you need to negotiate my deals. So that's just life. I mean, look, and I think what people want to hear is why Amir Khan is not fighting Kell Brook. That's the main thing. And that's why these other little stories are getting so big, and these other things are getting big. Now, basically, I'll break it down for you. Now, I'm fighting all the A-list opponents. Look at my last 10 fights. The likes of Maidana, Judah, Garcia, Peterson. Win or lose, I'm that type of guy who fights anyone who they put in front of me. You know, even my last fight, Alexander. I mean, I was new in the welterweight division. I mean, even like Clazo, you know. I mean, I've fought a lot of top fighters my career. And look at Kell. Kell's only fought one decent opponent in his 33 record, 33 fight record. He's only fought one decent opponent, which is Porter. Porter, you can say, is not an A-list opponent. I've had a title, obviously, but you can say he's one of the top guys out there. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm doing all the hard work. I'm fighting the top guys like the Madonnas and the Judas and the Garcias and everyone. I'm fighting all them guys where Kell Brook then comes along, just beats Porter and says, and that Porter fight was his only A-list fight he had, and that was a very close fight. Very, very close fight. It could have gone either way. It could have gone either way. He turned around and said, Amir straight after that fight. He thinks he's proven his point by having that one fight. Fine, titles, he's got a title, I respect that, but why doesn't he make this fight even bigger? Like, look at the Manny Pacquiao and the Mayweather fight. Look how big this fight is. It's like $300-400 million. It's a dollar fight. It's a huge fight. He could only make this fight between me and Kell Brook. Me and Kell could make this fight even bigger by him fighting some A-class opponents look, there's Broner, there's Thurman, there's Bradley. There's some good names there for him to fight face. If he goes there and beats one of them, then I think it makes sense that that fight between me and him will be even bigger, and there'll be more people known. It won't be only a big fight in the UK, but it'll be a big fight around the world. That's what we want to do. We don't want to make it a fight which is only 10 million, 15 million. We could make it a fight which is worth 50 to 100 million. We could do, depending on who Kell fights. So Kell, it seems to me that Eddie Hearn is not putting him in with anyone half decent because he's scared that he loses the IBF title and he'll be, he won't ever get that big payday against me. That's what it comes down to. I respect all fighters, but when it's time to talk the truth, I'll talk the truth. And this is the truth. What I'm saying, I've never turned any fight down, and I never will. And Kell needs to definitely up his game and start, instead of me doing all the hard work and then him getting the opportunity to fight me. He's a title holder and he's calling me out. And it seems to me that I'm the big. I know I'm the bigger name, but it's like I've got the title. The way he's going on about it.
Amir, do you consider Algieri to be a bigger name in the boxing world than Kell Brook?
You know what, bro? In America, I think he probably is in America, yes, because fighting Pacquiao and getting a lot of publicity and stuff off that fight. He's more known than Kell Brook is in America. I can say that, yes. And also in probably the Philippines because he fought Manny Pacquiao. But in British boxing, he's not, because obviously Kell Brook is from Britain and he's going to be a bigger name in Britain. Yeah, I can be honest with that. Yeah.
Since obviously,
if you go back to the days what I said, I can't fight in June. End of May is the latest I can fight because of Ramadan. And like I said, do you really believe a fight between Amir Khan and Kell Brook could sell in 2 months? We could make it a big fight. That fight needs more than 2 months promotion, and it'll be such a big fight. We could make a huge fight, a blockbuster fight. You guys want to do it in 2 months, and rush into that fight and just get Kell beat. If Kell really wants to make that big money, then he needs to really build the fight up and really prove himself that he's fighting the top guys in boxing. It seems to me he's not really fighting the top guys. Like, what's going to happen now? I'll tell you what's going to happen with Kell. He's that looked after. He's going to go on to probably fight in June, mid-June sometime. He's going to fight someone like maybe Brandon Rios, a guy who's coming up away and who isn't dangerous, or fight someone like Declan. He's fooling the crowd. He's fooling the British people. And him and Eddie Hearn, it seems to me they're fooling them because he's telling them, look, Kell's fighting all the top guys. Whoever they put in front of him is beating or he's knocking out because they're there to be knocked out. If you put him in with the Thurmans, if you put him in with the Madonnas, that's going to be a real fight. But that's what they're not doing. So why should I give him the opportunity if he's not doing that? And I've been there and done it. That's what my argument is.
All right, Amir, if you... this is hypothetical, but if you didn't have the Ramadan situation, which I know is kind of irrelevant because you do, and all your fights are surrounded around that, But if there wasn't that situation for you, would you be happy to fight Kell Brook in the summer?
Yeah, if it was a Ramadan, I think if it made sense, definitely, why not? I mean, honestly, looking at Kell's performances, it's a winnable fight for me. It's a win fight for me. It's a win-win fight for me. Statistically, when you look at the fight, what does Kell Brook have? Nothing but a punch. And he has to land that punch. I mean, look at the world-class opponents he fights. He's not knocking them out. Carson Jones is the only world-class opponent. Well, you can't value Carson Jones as a world-class opponent, really. He's like a C-class opponent. I mean, someone like Porter, he couldn't knock out. I mean, look at the world-class guys he's having problems with, and he won't knock out the world-class opponents, So, he's only faced one. We need to see him in the ring with more world-class opponents to see what he's really made out of, and then that fight will be even bigger. I mean, we want to if he really wants to make this fight really big, and he wants to do for that big payday, then he needs to really go out there and fight decent names and prove his position, regardless of holding a world title. No, I mean, Mayweather and Pacquiao, you're saying that he's only the third guy in the welterweight division to hold a title, which I agree. But that doesn't mean you're going to get a shot with you're one of the top guys in the welterweight. It doesn't mean that holding a title just means you're holding the title. You just keep it warm for someone like me, And on top of that, Mayweather and Pacquiao don't know who Kell Brook is. You know what I'm saying? So it's quite funny where they're mentioning Amir Khan, the US press are saying the winner of Mayweather Pacquiao will probably fight Amir Khan. Now I'm in a position like that, and then you've got someone like Kell Brook, disrespecting you when the world's talking about a mega fight with me happening, pushing distance away from like a Pacquiao or a Mayweather fight, and then you got someone like Kell Brook who's disrespecting me and saying. The only thing is, the more he disrespects, I think the fight's getting even pushed further and further away from him. I think when he starts to, grows balls and says, look, I need to start facing some proper opponents, and so when I beat these proper opponents, then the Khan fight will happen. Then I'll respect him, and that's when the fight will happen. And it will be a big fight.
Amir, do you know when you'll be in a position to 100% confirm your opponent for May?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm still talking to Al. Al is going to try to get me the fight I want. And look, Broner would be a huge fight. I think, I'd love that fight. So I'm just working on one or two names at the moment to confirm. And if they don't happen anytime soon, then I'll have to just get an opponent and announce it. And look, even if it is an Algieri, you cannot disrespect an Algieri because he's a former world champion. He's better than Jojo Dan or Nono Dan, whatever you want to call him. And he's dealing with some big names like Broner, Emmanuel Taylor, and Manny Pacquiao.
Were your fans happy with, when you sort of... I know, like I said, it's come about, it's not actually confirmed, the Algieri thing, but when you put it out there that, let's say Algieri was a possibility for May the 30th, were your own fans happy with your choice of opponent for that?
Well, at that time, there wasn't, because they don't understand the situation. Now, obviously talking to you now, I'm sure people understand the situation, that, I wanted the fight against Broner, it didn't happen. I want the fight with Miguel Cotto, that didn't happen. I mean, I want the best guys out there. But Bradley fight is not being put to me, and I know that fight will never happen. And and then, so I didn't have a chance to speak to my fans or the boxing fans out there and tell them what the truth is, why an Algieri comes. But still, even if it is an Algieri, I can't take this fight lightly, because Algieri, he's a good boxer, and like I said, if he's beating the likes of Porodnikov, who would beat a lot of welterweights, then it says something. But look, the fans obviously want the big fights. The biggest fight they probably wanted was the Mayweather Khan or Pacquiao Khan. But look, them fights are going to happen in the future. It's all about just keep building, keep winning, and keep looking good and putting good performances on, and then hopefully get one of them fights.
All right. Well, listen, Amir. Like I said, you're in control of your own future, and you make your own decisions, and don't surround it around any other fighter. And as a fan talking to you, can understand that. But also, from just a British boxing fan point of view, I can speak for most of your fans, Kell Brook's fans, whoever. People want to see that fight between you and Brook. I mean, listen, whether it's
100%.
people want to see that fight.
What my argument is, though, the fight could be even bigger than it is. Why only have it big in the UK? Why not make it big around the world? By making it big around the world is him beating world-class opponents. He has a world title. He can get these world-class opponents. Example, Marquez or big names out there like that. I mean, fighting all these smaller guys like Brandon Rios or Clary is not going to get him anywhere. Or these Jojo Dans, and he needs to really up his game. Look at my career: the Judas, the Garcias, Petersons, the Madonas. I mean, I fought whoever they put in front of me. So I think Kell needs to definitely grow some. He needs to grow some and really go out there and prove it, and then make this fight not only big in UK, make it big around the world, where there'll be interest in it around the world. And that's what we want. If he wants to be a superstar, he needs to really get the world behind this fight with me and him. Not only UK, obviously no disrespect to UK fans, but because we know we can make this fight a huge fight around the world, then why not do it? I mean, there's more money on the table then.
I mean, just finally, obviously, you've told us that the IBF haven't contacted you about any final eliminator with yourself and Bradley. If they had, let's say, for example, if the IBF, you were aware of a situation where you and Bradley were for a final eliminator for Kell Brook's title, would you be interested in that?
Well, definitely. I mean, why not? I mean, end of the day, one thing is, I've never taken the IBF route. I've always been on the WBC number one and the WBA one as well. So I've never really been on that IBF route. So yeah, I mean, if it makes sense financially, like I said, look, one thing people forget: boxing is a business, and financially, if it makes sense, why not? Because it is a business, and I'll definitely do that. And another thing is also, if whoever I fight in my next fight, it is a business, so they can't really disrespect if I fight like an Algieri or a Broner. I know those fights are going to make me a lot of money. So, boxing is a business, and that's one thing people need to understand as well. You have to go with what's best for you, and your advisors are going to tell you what the best route is to take to make the most. I mean, we're all prize fighters. Like Mayweather says, everyone's a prize fighter. It's all about making as much as you can, and and walking out the sport in a healthy way.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, Amir, thank you very much for talking to Eiffel TV and clearing.
I appreciate you talking to me, man.
Yeah.
Just wanted to clear a few things up, and I'm glad we kind of have.
That's fine. Listen, the last thing I want to say to you is, if there's a possibility of you against Adrian Broner in your next fight, please make that fight, because that is a fight that would absolutely excite your fans.
No, definitely, yeah. And look, we tell the fans to train for that fight, and that's the fight I want. I've even made it public out there to everyone, tweeted about it and stuff. And just one thing, what upset me was how Kell Brook and how Eddie Hearn are fooling the crowd, fooling the UK fans. Fooling the UK fans by saying Amir is scared, he's not fighting the main guys, and putting me down. I just wanted to speak to you and clarify everything. That's
fine. That's no problem. You're entitled to your say.
Appreciate it, Kugan.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, Amir Khan, and best of luck. And we'll look forward to news about your opponent.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.